All right, so this one we're talking about amusement park visitors. The total number of visitors to an amusement park that stays open all year is basically given in this table here. We're supposed to find a logistic model for the data. And then according to the model, how many potential visitors will the park miss if it closes from October 15th through March 15th of each year? All right, so first we have to find the model. So let's go ahead and go over here. And again, I've gone ahead and I've input the data. Now notice I put January, February, March. I numbered them 1 through 12. Excuse me. Then I went ahead and put in our data. And so now we got to do our logistic regression, which is B. Hit enter, go down. We want to put that in there. So we want to make sure we put vars 1, 1. And so this is going to be our model we use. Now remember, this is a minus b, so when we put in, it's going to be a minus 0.866, okay? Now, when we go over here, I didn't delete that. All I did was we uploaded the new Y1. So this is still here. So if we needed that, we could have it here, but for this problem, it doesn't ask for it. So, it's just going to be something on the graph that is really not needed, but it's there. Now this time, notice when we take the derivative, it's a positive, so we'll have to look for the max. And so if we had to find where that inflection point was, we'd have to do a 4, and we'd go down to the red one, and our left bound would be somewhere here. Our right bound would be somewhere here, and our guess is somewhere in the middle. And our guess is going to be 6.585, so maybe 6.6. If we wanted to go clear up to the 7, that would be where it would be at then as 7. So that's what we would get using that. Again, we don't have to find that in this one, but that's okay as well. Now, what we do have to find is the model. So our model is going to be here, so we can write that one down. And then it says, according to the model, how many potential visitors will the park miss if it closes from October 15th through March 15th? All right, so now we have to think about what does that mean? Well, what is March 15th? Well, March is the third month, but you've only gone for 2 whole months, and the 15th is another half of a month, so that's 2.5 months. And then October 15th, then we've gone basically for 9 whole months and then half of the 10th month, so it'd be 9.5. And so what we need to figure out is what are the points 9.5 and 2.5 on our graph. And so now what we can do is we can say, okay, let's do a calc. We want a value, and we want to do it at 2.5. Okay. Well, that gives us 69.22 for, or 23 there for value. So let's write that down, 69.229965, and that's at 2.5. And then if we do the same thing for a value at 9.5, we get that value. So we get 2269.4241. And so now what we need to do is we need to subtract those. So now we're going to take got to clear that. Let's get out of here. Now we need to take 2269.4241 minus the 69.229965, and we get 2200.194 as our value. So that's our difference. Okay, so 2200.194. And so now that's how many people kind of go in that middle region. So now what we need to do is go and find out how many people do for the whole 12 months. And so our whole 12 months is going to be a value. We want x is equal to 12, and we get 2428.8987. And so now we're going to subtract those. So if we subtract that and subtract off 2428.8987, we're going to get 228.705 as far as visitors. Now I know it shows negative, but I took the smaller minus larger just because then I didn't have to type that in. And so I know that that's my value, but it's going to be the opposite of that sign. So now what we need to do is we need to go back. I think we've calculated everything we've been asked to calculate. So now we have to kind of write it all down over here. All right, so the logistic model. All right, so let's say maybe number of visitors in thousands for the month, let's call that M, is going to be equal to, and we had 2451.221 over 1 plus 299.912 e to the minus 0.866 M, since we're using M here. And that's going to be thousands of visitors to the park. And that's going to be, from the months January through December, basically. Okay. And so for months M less than 12, less than or equal to 12, greater than or equal to R1. Okay. So that was our first part. That's what we needed there. Now, according to the model, how many potential visitors will miss the mark if it closes? Well, for B, we had several calculations. So we had to figure out what V of 2.5 was, and that was 69.229965. We had to find V of 9.5. That was 2269.4241. We had to find V of 12, and that was 2428.8987. And so what we could do is we could take this difference and that was equal to, we said, 2200.194. And so that's how many visitors kind of went in between those months. And then we'd take the difference of that, and that gave us 228.705 visitors. And if we're doing all this in thousands and we subtract it off, then that should be good as far as our actual values go, because it's just going to be that. Actually, that's 1,000 visitors. Okay. So, because we still have our units here, and this whole calculations was in thousands, and so it's 1,000 visitors. That's how many they're missing. So, if we wrote that out, that's actually 220,705 visitors that they're missing per year between the October 15th and the March 15th. Okay. All right. So, yep, that's all this one, and I've got one more, and then I think that should be all for this section.